Finally, My Hero Academia, Vigilantes, Episode 1, I'm here. I've been waiting for this one personally. We're not going to do anything manga, we're only going anime. Vigilante definition: a member of a volunteer committee organized to suppress or punish crime, summarily. Broadly, a self-appointed do-gooder of justice. We kick it off with a gigantification quirk user terrorizing town. He's eating a motorcycle for some reason, and in the crowd we have our main character, Koichi Himawari, and who comes to stop the villain other than All Might himself with a Detroit smash. Koichi looks down at the time and realizes that he's got to get going. To where? Class. Koichi is 19 and in college. We've got an older character, finally, not the normal 13 to 15-year-old anime protagonist. To make it to class on time, Koichi takes an alleyway and ends up running into some thugs. And here's where we see that Koichi's actually the timid type of person. Proto-Deku. The thugs try to intimidate Koichi, but instead of trying to fight them, he just gets down on all fours and cowers a bit. Now, them taking the opportunity to harass him even more, they try to hit him, but Koichi dodges, still head down and bowing. They give chase, but Koichi immediately gets out of the alleyway and gets to a sidewalk, and here's where we're fully introduced with his quirk, slide and glide. He's able to hover above surfaces and objects and give himself a propelling force in all directions. He looks like a go-kart, but not as fast. Later on, I'm guessing after he lost the thugs and after school, Koichi runs into our local idol, Pop Step. She does guerrilla performances wherever she happens to be in town. Sometimes she'll set them up, sometimes the fans won't even know. But she's got a leaping quirk which gives her performances, well, a pop. Looking down his phone, Koichi realizes he's got to get to work now. This is so relatable, Koichi works at a convenience store, and he ends up a little late, so we go to him getting chewed out by his boss. Afterwards, who walks in but those same thugs from earlier? We flash over to them and Koichi in the alleyway, and Koichi getting jumped. Nobody came to help. But Koichi was not defeated. He got up, dusted himself off, and went home with fire in his eyes. Tonight we're going to get a little wild. He wants to do some hero work, but just ends up doing some good Samaritan work. Cleaning the streets, picking up trash, helping the elderly. He's got a little nickname too. He's the nice guy. Yay. He ends up running into Pop again in the alley. Bro be testing fate a lot. But she just teases him a little bit, flirting, and gives him some water after all of his hard work. In the middle of them talking, who shows up but those same thugs from earlier? Testing fate in that alley. It's good setting and ambiance though, Alright, Koichi, hero time. Those thugs immediately start harassing Pop from the way that she's dressed from her performance. And Koichi tries to intervene, but he's not really much help. The thugs have some pretty dangerous quirks too. We got 3 of them. One's a knockoff Wolverine. We got a little sadistic lizard guy, and we got a big buff dude. We always have a random big buff dude. Right as we're about to get Wolverined, some old janky dude falls from a rooftop into a pile of trash. And this is Knuckle Duster, our mentor. And he means business. Man don't even speak. He just gets up, swings on Wolverine. We lay out Lizard and Big Guy and check their tongues. Okay. But anyway, he sees Koichi and acknowledges his heroism and says that they should team up and maybe he can train him as well. Koichi's not adamant about it, but the passionately violent man seems encouraged enough. Interrupting the conversation, Logan grabs Pop, and without even thinking, and moving faster than we've seen so far, Koichi tackles him, and following right behind him, Knuckle Duster with a swift right. Lays Logan out and checks his tongue too, though. After that, we get out of here and go back to Koichi's spot, where we immediately see Knuckle Duster raiding the fridge. Getting a little introduction going on, Knuckle Duster explains to us why he was really checking their tongues, and that's because he's looking for the evidence of a drug called Trigger. This drug gives anybody's quirk a boost, meaning people can become heroes or villains overnight. At the same time, we cut back to the alley where the 3 thugs were beat up and they're getting up and walking off, and then they get approached by a shady figure. And what is he giving them? Trigger. Knuckle Duster insists that we work together with him and take down whatever syndicate is pushing Trigger. Because of it, the pro heroes and the officers haven't been able to keep up with the crime going on. As we cut back to see the thugs flipping out and everybody's quirks advancing, Lil Wolverine became Lil Porcupine. Lil Sadistic Lizard Dude became Lil Sadistic Dragon Dude. And Big Buff Guy became Big Flaming Buff Guy. Bigger Flaming Buff Guy. The next day, the old man drags us out and we're chasing down people in the street pretty much. Pop runs into us because she wasn't initially with us, and she wonders what we're doing with him. Pretty much Koichi says, hey, I'm really just keeping him in check because if I don't, he'll just point out random people and punch him. People that he thinks suspicious, but he's suspicious. Crazy old dangerous Pop Pop. Pop offers us to help with the search to narrow down where we could search at for the actual people that might have anything involving with Trigger. Basically, searching social media to see what's going on, anybody referencing it, or any reason she can to get nosy in our business. I mean, she was there last night, so she's kind of part of the group, but she wasn't really doing any heroing or caring about it. At the same time, Knuckle Duster notices a man carrying a briefcase and just walks over and starts getting on him. We run over to stop him, and then we're all stopped by none other than Shota Aizawa, Eraserhead. Whenever the man's briefcase fell, he was holding dolls, and that just made Knuckle Duster flip out more. Eraserhead, seeing the anger go on, obviously he had to stop Knuckle Duster from beating up the guy. And that is where we have the end of episode 1. This is going to be fun. Hopefully we can keep like a deep, darker setting. I will have like a couple setups with figurines and stuff. But other than that, hopefully we can keep a dark setup going. We'll see y'all next time. Like, follow, comment, love, protect women and children.